There we go. Right now we're recording. So we're going to talk about the difference between leads and sales as we are in the industry, of course, of network marketing. This is something I've been learning a lot about over these last few months, how there truly is a difference between a lead and a sale. And if we're only looking for the sale, you're eventually going to hit, like, have you ever hit a point in time in your business where you're like, oh, I don't have anyone to follow up with. Oh, I have like no conversations happening. Oh, my DMs are dead. Like, it feels like you don't have anyone to talk to, or it feels like you have run out of people to talk to within your current social media, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is that you're on. I know that I've certainly felt that way, where I'm like, oh, like, especially in the beginning of business, or there were certain ruts in business where I'm like, oh, okay, like, nothing's happening. I'm not talking to anybody. Therefore, I have no leads. Therefore, there are going to be no sales because there's no conversation happening. So this is why on every MMM, at least like the ones that, anytime I host one of the Millionaire Mindset meetings in the morning, is to really emphasize the fact of getting into people's messenger. Now, I'm not talking in the sense of cold message. I'm talking in the sense of relationship building, right? That's in my eyes, and from everything that I have learned, that's what a lead is. A lead is connecting. A lead is a new relationship. A lead is talking to your like-minded people, not just anyone that happens to appear on your social media. Because I will tell you, I have been the person that has added everybody and anybody just to hopefully up my friends list, or to hopefully up my friends list on Instagram, like on Facebook, whatever the case may be. And it ends up creating more work for you at the end of the day than it does anything. And now you're having to go back through and kind of like clean up all the work that you thought you just did, but in fact, you kind of just created more work for yourself to do. So when it comes to leads, how do you find leads? How do you generate them? How do you get that started? This is where we are in the relationship business. This is where it seems so weird, where we find it hard to talk to people, right? Maybe you've ever felt that way before. Maybe you feel like it's hard to start up conversations. If it's hard to start up a conversation with someone, they're probably not your people. They're probably not someone with similar interests as you. It just doesn't rub you the wrong way. Where if I'm looking at like one of you ladies, or I'm looking at a best friend, or I'm looking at someone that I talk to on a daily basis, I don't have a problem talking to them, right? And I remember in the beginning of time, like, it wasn't hard to talk to that person either. It was like we were already friends, but we had just met each other. And I'm like, how do we have like the same story? It's because we had similar interests. We did have a similar story, right? So it makes conversation easier. So while we are here, I want you to sit down and not just think about it. I want you to write it down, because this will help you gauge what you need to do right now and tonight or tomorrow morning for your business and how to scale forward. So with that being said, like, I know we've talked about this before, where it's what are 3 to 5 things that you have interest in outside of products, outside of business, outside of making money. Because I can tell you, if I went on Facebook and searched like people that like to make money, or like money making groups, like everyone and their mother is in there, right? So I'm talking about what are 3 to 5 things that make you you. What are 3 to 5 things that make you, who is Allison? Who is Sadie? I think Galaxy is, I don't know if I'm not quite sure who Galaxy is, but Galaxy, whoever you are, I'm not sure if it's Brianna or Sam. I'm just not quite sure. But I want you to think of what makes you you, right? Oh, it's Heather. Dang, I wish I could switch it on my end and be like, it's Heather. What's up, girl? Okay, so I want you to write down what are 3 to 5 interests that make you you, right? Not the products, not the business, not network marketing. So I'm going to give a few examples. Like, do you like to garden? Do you like going outdoors? Do you like hiking? Do you like traveling? Do you like, are you a dog mom? Are you a cat mom? Are you a human mom? Like, what? Do you have an interest in pets? Do you have an interest in animals? Do you have an interest in cars? Do you have, I know like one of my things is I'm engaged. So I'm going to lead into where I'm taking all these ideas with, right? But I want you to write down 3 to 5 interests of yourself, right? Again, these can kind of go hand in hand with your pillars too, right? 3 to 5 things that make you you. Maybe it's being a parent. Maybe it's being a spouse. Maybe it's being, I know for one of my 3 strongest ones, I do have Business is one of mine, but not really, because of the fact that I'm sharing my journey, because I've been in this industry for 5 years and I was with, 2 previous companies prior to this. So I speak a lot into that because of the sense of I know what the difference is between a lot of them. But my strongest pillar that I lead from the forefront with is definitely like my sober journey, right? Because that was a pivotal moment in my life. I can just I'm not a human mom, but I can only imagine that after having children, that is a huge pivotal moment in your life as well, right? But also not losing sense of who you are as a person, because you will have women connect with you over, being a mom and having kids. I have women that connect with me purely off of sobriety, right? And then what this trickles down to is that those people are your leads. Those people are what are going to connect with you the most, because you already share a similar story or similar interest. And then this attracts them to you, which you also include products and a business opportunity, right? Not that that's all that we come with. We share our story through and through, but that is where you're going to determine your people. So once you have figured out those 3 to 5 interests of yourself, this is something that I started doing quite a few months back because I never understood the significance of Facebook groups, and I didn't understand the significance behind Instagram hashtags. And I want to break it down for you, because this is like when you ask, how do you find those people? How do I find my like-minded people, rather than just going to the, people you may know or your suggested friends list. And typically those lists are generated off of the pure fact that they have the most, you guys have the most in common friends, which means I know I have a lot of friends that are thrivers. So if I look at a friend and they've got 300 mutual friends, I'm like, you're already you're already thriving. You're already in the business, or you see us on a day-to-day basis, through someone else. Not that we couldn't connect, but I want to find my people. I don't want to just find anybody. And the hard truth is that we cannot connect with everybody, right? I am not going to connect with, my energy is very different, to where I've had people tell me yo, you need to shut up and slow down because you're too much. I'm like, you're not my person, right? You're not my people, right? Because this is how I function on a day-to-day basis. That's going to happen, and that's perfectly okay, because it defers the people that, again, it's like mass adding people, and you have to go through and filter them back out. Same thing with people in your life. So how do you find these like-minded people? Facebook groups, hashtags on Instagram, and creating content. So a few things that I really started hammering down on that has helped A, conversations boost, and B, with friends list growing, is go search Facebook groups with those things that you just wrote down, with those interests, with those pillars that you just wrote down. You may have to search a few different words. You may have to switch up the wording of it. You may have to take a look through the list, but literally you can grab your phone, you can go to Facebook, you can, in the search bar, I know I'm in a lot of sober groups, right? So if I type in sober, I hit search, there's this tab at the top called groups. If you click on groups, it's going to bring you to any group there that has the word sober in it. So maybe you search mom, maybe you search gardening, maybe you search, I don't know, whatever it is for you, right? Maybe it's cars, maybe it's makeup, maybe you like to do makeup, maybe you're into clothes, maybe you're into organizing, maybe you're into fill in the blank, whatever it is for you, right? I will tell you, I have had to join groups to find out that I'm like, ooh, this really isn't my vibe, and I have to leave them, but that's totally fine. You can totally leave a group. But the importance with this, once you're actually in there, is interacting with them, right? So I have a few groups where there aren't too many followers, but it's an active group. It shows you how many posts are being made per day. And I'm in some groups where there are over 50,000 people in it, right? That is new access to new people. So when it comes to interacting in these groups, I know I do it on a daily basis. So if I am on Facebook, you see these little peeps, see those notifications? It says 9. That means there have been 9 new posts within the groups that I'm a part of. That is a little tab that I can go into, and I can literally just interact on the groups that I am in. This is separate from my actual news feed. This is just for groups. So when it comes to interacting, this is loving on the post. This is commenting on the post. If you really connected with that person, this is how I add new friends. I don't go to my suggested friends list. I don't go through other people's friends list and their brothers, sisters, friends list, right? I go through my groups. Why? Because I already know right off the bat, we have something in common, and that's a conversation starter right there, right? So that is how you can find leads within and finding new friends as well to connect with in Facebook groups. Again, this is where you are liking on, loving on people's posts, commenting on people's posts, forming some sort of conversation in the comment section, right? But then also taking that and bringing it back to your home base so you don't lose that person. Because I will tell you, it's very easy in a group where if you go in there and you interact, you're like, oh yeah, like getting it done. And then you'll be like, where'd they go, right? If you didn't DM them, or if you didn't send them a friend request. The reason why I send them a friend request first is because if you're not friends with someone on Facebook and you send them a direct message, what happens is like it goes into like this folder where it's like, I don't know if you know this person because you're not friends with them, and it like goes into a weird folder and sometimes you don't see it. So I always send a friend request first, and then conversation starter picks up right there, right? If I want to send them a message, maybe they made a similar post about, let's say I start conversations about dogs, like, hello, I obsess over dogs. It's a thing, it's evident on my social media that I am obsessed with them, right? So it's an easy conversation starter. So that's how you would grow and create leads on Facebook. Now you might be wondering, what the hell is the point, Kate, of going in Facebook groups? If I like dogs, like how does that lead to business? How does that lead to sales? How does that lead to, getting product in their hand? I will tell you, people are nosy. People are nosy, and you want people to like, know, and trust you first. That's like the number one thing. So if they don't like you, if they don't know you, and they don't trust you, you're never going to get to a sale, right? So I am already kind of knocking off one of those things. I'm like, oh, we're going to love each other, right? We both love dogs. We both have pit bulls. Like, we've already got a relationship flowing, right? I want them to get to know me. How are they going to get to know me? Through my Facebook feed, through what my, the content that I'm producing, through the content that I'm providing, through my stories that they will now have access to because of the fact that I hit, add as a friend. And now they are going to build trust within me as we continue this relationship, as they continue following along on this journey, and as they continue seeing the content. And now I'm filtering them into the products that we offer, what I use on a day-to-day basis, what provides the better, energy, mood, focus, all the benefits to all of our 3 steps. And then they're also getting filtered into the business opportunity as well. So that is how you are now taking that lead of a person that has common interest as you. You are building that like, know, and trust factor, which will then lead to a sale when they are ready for it. But now they're always seeing your information. Now they know what you are all about. And now, again, like I said, people want to purchase with people, and people want to do business with people that they like, know, and trust. If they don't know anything about you, I'm not trying to be rude, people probably don't like me if they don't know anything about me or what I'm all about, if they just saw my profile picture, right? Like, that doesn't form any sort of trust. And also showing up and also providing that value for them is what is going to build that trust factor. It's also you showing up consistently and showing that they need to trust that you're using the products too, and that you're not just trying to sell them on something, right? They need to see that you are working the business too. So if they choose to take that leap, that your hand is going to be out to, help them along the way. So that is on Facebook. Now on Instagram, you're going to do the same exact thing. Think of hashtags as a Facebook group, right? So when it comes to hashtags, again, those similar interests, those things that make you you. I know I'm going to pull up mine really quick. I'm going to list off a bunch of them. I will say I do follow some business ones though, because I want to see, I like to get inspiration from other people in this industry. I think there are some really amazing creative minds out there that are within this industry. Maybe they're happy with their company, like, good for them, right? But I will say I follow some business hashtags, but I want to show you how simple it is. And it makes it super easy, A, with not only growing your friends, but B, again, generating these leads, creating new conversations. Your conversations, like, it all goes down in the DMs, right? You don't close a sale on a post. You don't close a sale on a story. You don't close a sale, I don't know, off of a comment on it. Like, you just don't, right? It closes in the DMs, or it closes in a text message, whatever form of messenger that you are on, Instagram, Facebook, your actual phone number. So that is where it all goes down. But we first need to generate these leads. So on Instagram, again, you can type in any word you want. You can type in, I'm going to type in sober just for the sake of it, because I want to show you that I'm following it. When you type in a word, it gives you these 4 options at the top. And there's one that's called tags. It's short for hashtags. So I'm going to click on tags, and it's going to show me all of these posts. Oops. It's going to show you all of these hashtags using the word sober. Now, I know these are my like-minded people that I want to connect with. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to find a few of them that have pretty good engagement on them. For example, one that has, I'm probably not going to get a lot of interaction with what's this called, a hashtag with 3.1 million hashtags on it, or posts connected to it, but I want to show you. I'm just going to click on the first one. I want to show you how to utilize this. So this is hashtag sober life, just for the sake of it. There's top and there's recent. I'm going to go to the recent tab on the left-hand side. These are people that have used this hashtag in their most recent post. What am I going to do from this page? I am going to look through the posts. I'm going to look for the ones with actual humans in it, right? I'm going to go to their page. I'm going to see what they're all about. I already know we have sobriety in common. Otherwise, like, I don't know many people that aren't sober that use the hashtag sobriety, right? But I am going to tap on it, and then I'm going to make my way through and connect with new people. Again, I follow probably nearly 35 different sober or recovery hashtags, right? Because that's one of my strongest pillars that I like to speak on the most. So I follow a lot of those because it opens me up to thousands and thousands and thousands and millions and millions and millions of people for me to go connect with. So again, on another one, you can see that at the top, this says following. Any hashtag that you search, there will be a blue rectangle at the top that gives you the option to follow. Okay, so when you follow it, I want to show you. So take the time, go through, search a bunch of different words, click on the tags button, look at the hashtags affiliated with it, and follow a few in each interest, in each pillar of yours. I think I literally follow 50 different hashtags, okay? So after you hit the follow button, I want to show you where you can utilize that, again, to generate that lead and to increase the friends that your friends list as well. So with that being said, where you go to find that is you go to your personal page and you go to your following, you click on it, and it literally has a hashtag button right here. So it has a hashtag button after you go to your following. This is how I generate new leads from hashtags. I'm going to show you here. So here is one. I'm a pitbull, like one of them is pitbull mom. I am going to go to the most recent post made with it. I'm going to look for one, again, with a girl and probably their dog in it. I'm going to click on their profile. It brings me to their profile. We already have something in common. We both love pit bulls. We both have dogs, right? This girl is actually also within network marketing, so we already have something else in common. So with that being said, once I am here, I am going to love on 3 posts, right? I'm going to love on 3 posts, comment on 2, and I'm also going to send her a message off of one of her stories. Why? Because I want to connect with new people. That is how you do this consistently on a day-to-day basis. And I want you to think about it in this sense. If you went through, right, you added yourself to new Facebook groups and you joined them, and you went through and you followed a bunch of different hashtags within your pillars, right? I want you to think of how many, like, could you set a number as to how many new people you would connect with on a day-to-day basis? Let's say it's 5. Right? If you challenge yourself to connect with 5 new people a day, whether it's adding 5 new friends from a Facebook group or adding 5 new friends through Instagram hashtags that have similar interests, you commented on their posts, you interacted, and you sent a message from their stories, I want you to think of 5 new people a day on one platform, 7 days a week is 35 new conversations a week. 35 new conversations a week on 2 platforms, 2, not 4, 2, 2 platforms. So that is 70 new conversations in total. Imagine if you started at 5 and you worked your way up. You can do this with your current following as well, but it is very important that we are also always growing our network. So when it comes to your current following, whether you do this in the morning, whether you do this in the afternoon, whether you do this in the evening when you are sitting down and you are, let's say, catching up on your phone, you are doing some work on the Millionaire Mindset meeting, or you have like an hour of time carved out where you're like, okay, I'm going to sit down and get work done. Also, give credit to those that are already following you, right? So both on Facebook and on Instagram. So one thing that you can do, I do this on both platforms. You go to I mean, do this. I'm going to not even grab my phone. You can do this on your post, and you can do this with your stories. So 2 things. What you can do is when people like and when people comment on your posts, especially this applies to people that are non-thrivers, right? Because I'm not here messaging and creating conversation with people that are already in the business, right? That's taking time away from those that I could actually be connecting with, creating new relationships with. So when you are going through your post and you are looking at any comments and you are looking at any people that liked your post, go to their feed. Again, this is part of generating new leads, because if someone took the time to comment or love on your photo, they're seeing you on their feed. If you want them to continue seeing you on their feed, you need to interact with them as well, right? So that is going to their feed, doing the 3-2-1 method. I think it's the simplest thing out there, and it's very consistent. You can do this on Facebook and Instagram. Love on 3 posts, comment on 2, reply to one of their stories. When I say reply to one of their stories, it literally goes straight to the DMs. Boom, that is a lead. That is a new relationship. That is a new connection. And that is another conversation that is now being generated within your DMs. And I will tell you, I pay more attention to the conversations that I have in DMs than I do on my feed, right? And I don't mean that I don't give attention to my feed, but I have relationships building right here, right? And now I'm going to my feed to create new ones. So you can do that through your post. You can look at who is already viewing your stories. Maybe I've had people watch me on my stories. I kid you not. I kid you not. And I think, Sadie, we were just sharing a story about this too the other day, where people literally watch for a year before they reach out, or they're watching for months and then they reach out, right? So why not jumpstart that relationship with people that are watching your stories on a day-to-day basis, and they're just not saying anything yet, right? I've had people where they have been watching since, gosh, I was in my last company, and they have never said anything about anything, but they watch all 10 to 15 slides a day that I put in my stories, right? So why not jumpstart that relationship where if you go into your stories, both on Facebook or on Instagram, you can literally swipe up and it shows you everyone that has viewed your stories. I'm going to pick out the ones that are non-thrivers. I am going to go interact on their feed. I am going to do the 3-2-1 method. I'm going to love on 3 posts, comment on 2, reply to one of their stories, right? So if you do that as well, again, if you're sitting down and you're making a goal of 5 new relationships a day, 5 new messages a day on Facebook and on Instagram, I promise you, when you get to a point where you are like, I need to sit down and literally carve out an hour just to reply to messages, that's good, right? That means you have a lot of new eyes on you. You have a lot of new relationship building, and that is what we are in the business of. So, and when it comes to doing this task, a really important thing to keep in mind is don't reply to messages until you have gotten your 5 out, until you've gotten your 10 out, until you've gotten your 15 out, right? Imagine if you were sitting on, the morning meeting and you did this with 5 people. Imagine if you sat on the evening meeting and you did this for 5 people, because not only does that count as interaction, but now you are also creating conversation with it too, right? Imagine if you did 10 people a day. That's 70 new conversations a week. And that might seem daunting, but I will tell you, you will never run out of people to talk to. You will never, ever, ever run out of people to talk to, because your messenger is going to be so full. You're going to be like, I need to set time aside in my day just to sit here and reply to Facebook messages. I need to sit here and just reply to Instagram messages. I will tell you the best way to reply is if you have a laptop or I find it easier to reply on my laptop than I do my phone, because like my thumbs aren't they're just not that fast anymore. I don't really know what's happening, but that is a really simple way to reply. But what is the other thing? I'm just checking through my notes. How to connect. We went through Messenger, interacting on feed, connecting. It all goes. I wrote down DMs like 5 times. And the reason why this is so important is because it can feel very defeating if you are just going out. Sorry about the dinging. If you are just going out looking for a sale. It can feel defeating if you are just sitting here saying, well, no one's asked me about the business. They're saying it's follow-up Friday. I got no one to follow up with, right? 9 times out of 10, that is probably because we have no conversations happening. We might be posting the content. We might be posting the stories, but I will tell you, most times too, there's going to be people that reach out to you first, most definitely. But you can also take that little extra, you can also lend that hand out beforehand to be like, yo, you not messaging them and being like, yo, you can trust me, but connecting with them first. Because maybe they've been watching you, but maybe they've been nervous also to reach out. Maybe they're nervous to ask questions. Maybe they're nervous to talk to you, right? They want to know that you are, lending out that hand, to me, bridges that small gap with trust. It bridges and it kind of breaks the ice with people as well. Again, I'm not messaging about product. I'm not messaging about the business. I am simply just connecting with them like a human. Like if I ran into you in the store, like, oh, hi, how are ya? Right? Easy as that. So we went over the importance of leads, why leads are important, because they lead into sales and new eyes and new conversations, new friends. We're in the relationship building. We went over how to do so, again, in Facebook groups, again, on your Facebook groups, on your actual feed on Facebook, for those that comment or love on your posts, how to find new friends to connect with via Facebook groups, how to find new friends that have similar interests as you by following hashtags over on Instagram. And again, always applying the 3-2-1 method. I know I am someone that is, I'm highly attached to stories, and that is how I connect with people. I'm commenting on their stuff, but I need to make sure that I am sending them a message as well through their stories, because that is how, A, I don't forget that person because they're in my DMs and I am in there every day, and B, we are having a one-on-one conversation, building that like, know, and trust factor. And then the other piece I had written down, where was it? Facebook groups. Oh my Lord, did I write it down? I thought I had another piece that I was missing. How to connect, post, how to find people, and why it's so important. Because like I said, it's important to connect before we sell. Well, we have some random people that are like, yep, I want what you've got, right? There might be, but it's 2021. People don't just like swipe their credit cards or hand money over the internet like they used to, right? New eyes, new people, new relationships to allow people to like, know, and trust you. And we talked about, oh, that was the other piece I wanted to incorporate and let you know of, is that anytime, think about this, anytime you post, right? This is going to make it a lot easier when it comes to you generating a post, is because your interests, those pillars, are what you post about, right? You're in groups that are posting about it. So you can post about that as well on your feed. And always having some sort of call to action on any given post. The reason why having a call to action on any given post is because of the fact that A, that is generating a lead. That is generating leads, because those that comment, maybe they're replying to a question. Maybe they are, if you were doing a this or that, maybe they are fill in the blank, whatever your question was, right? When they comment on your post, that is a lead. That is someone that you can reply back to, but that's also someone that you can also have a conversation with in the DMs. So it's all based around content. It is all based around connecting with new people and groups and hashtags. And then when it comes to the actual sales part, that's where it gets simple. That's where it gets, it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. You have already established that like, know, and trust factor. They have probably already been watching you on your stories talk about these 3 steps, talk about this business, talk about X, Y, and Z to fill in the gaps. Now they're interested. Now they want options. So then you can close. So then when it actually comes, now that you've had the lead, and that is leading to the sale, right? While you're building that like, know, and trust factor, for them to be like, you know what? I need what you have. I want to get my hands on this. How do I try it? How do I purchase it? How do I get a part of the business, right? This is where, when it comes to the sale, it is short, sweet, to the point, and this is coming from a girl that used to word vomit and scare people off, okay? Literally, I would word vomit on so many people that I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't have read that message either. It was like 3 paragraphs long. Why would you read it? I wouldn't, right? I want short, quick answers, and that's what people want as well. They already know what they want in their mind. They already know that they want products to help with X, Y, and Z. They already know what you have your hands on and what they want to get their hands on. So then when it comes to the sale, and there are scripts in Beyond a Million, there are scripts in the guide section. So if you go to our team page, Beyond a Million, go into the guides, guide number 4, there are tons of them. I mean, conversation scripts from a brand new customer, from someone voting on your poll, from trial customers to brand new purchasing customers to returning auto ship customers, to those that have fallen off and want to come back on, to promoter conversations. There are scripts for everything, and there is a reason why it is short, sweet, to the point, and it includes videos instead of long messages that are 5 paragraphs long. And then it ends with options. All right, would you like option 1, 2, 3, or 4? Which one are you leaning towards, right? You always want to give people options. And oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, right? Because this is sometimes it's, where was that sentence going? Oh my Lord. Okay. Sometimes, like I said, it can be defeating. This is just a huge lesson that I have learned within this industry. And like, go figure, I just learned it over the last, I don't know, 6 months or so, the importance of leads and how to generate them. And again, it leads to the sales, and sales equals closing and mastering closing. And where is that happening again? In the DMs. In the DMs. And again, there are scripts for everything. Beyond a Million, Guide 4. You can copy and paste it all into your note section. So you can just be like, boop, 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 boop. You don't even have to think twice. You don't even have to think twice. So do you ladies have any questions? I know I covered a lot of information, but I feel like this is so important on, I mean, this is just in general for our business. This is not even regarding the bonuses on the table. This is not regarding anything, but this is just scaling your business to reach new people. And then it leads to the sales when it comes to business and when it comes to product as well. So, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So do you guys have any questions? Or I'm sweating. I was getting all fired up. Oh my Lord. Woo! Got all hot and toasty. If we're all set, then that is everything that I had. Oh, well, then this was perfect. This was perfect then. Yay. So this is going to be up for replay. I will send the replay link in the group chat. That way, if you guys want to reference this, if you want to go back on it. But once I have it uploaded, I will send it over and we'll be good to go. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your night and taking the time to hop on here. And I'm glad this was helpful. I saw the phone go down. I saw it go down. It's okay. You guys have a great rest. What's today? Thursday? Yes, go put it in action. Go join those Facebook groups. Go follow those hashtags. Do it tonight. That way you already have it in your back pocket and you are ready to go for tonight for interaction, and then tomorrow as well, and growing and leading and creating new relationships with people. So thank you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will probably see you in about 20 minutes on the Millionaire Mindset meeting. All right. Bye.